Let's talk about the big brother, the GO.
Okay. You want to toss me a GO? I see you have one.
Here, I was playing that one this morning quite a bit. The words that come to my
big guitar.
Yeah, so high fidelity. Both the one that I had in my store and this one. From the bass to the high end, everything that you play, it's just remarkable to me.
Yeah. So when a big guitar like this, I mean, it's kind of in the ballpark of what you'd consider like a jumbo size. So it's the largest body shape that we're making now. That has a ton of air mass. It's got a ton of real estate on that top. You can make a really big sound with it. The challenge for me is I still want the whole guitar to have a cohesive voice. I want it to feel like, if they're big notes, I want them all to be evenly big notes. You want a certain level of uniformity over that voicing. So as I was kind of working through the V-class idea and what that could bring to different body shapes in the different contexts, I came to this one. Man, I could get an unprecedented level of power out of that guitar. So that's what I went for. Going, every single note can be big sounding, they can be huge, they can be powerful. I don't want them to be muddy, woofy, nothing getting swallowed. I don't want any of that, but I want every note to have a real even. It all has to have a big, powerful, dominant presence to it.
When I played it, the other one you said, this is like a symphony, right?
Yeah.
The word that came to my mind when I was playing it was a different instrument as well. I instantly thought of a grand piano, like playing a really good, well-tuned grand piano when I was playing it. It's just like every note was powerful, present, clear. And what would be your?
That's a pretty good description. I mean, you play a grand piano that's been regulated well. The hammers are all picked well. It's got that kind of majestic, dynamic kind of power.
Yeah.
That's what this is going to have. So if you want to strum like you're playing a Johnny Cash tune, you're going to hit those big open position chords. Yeah, no problem. You've got it covered. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's all it does, because it has a very large voice, but it's well tempered all the way up the whole register. So everything's working really well. All the notes are there, and they all have this big, robust kind of character to them.
Yeah, I was doing Girl from Ipanema, just finger style.
Oh,
on
yeah.
it, and it sounded amazing, I just...
It just has a really articulate kind of voice for something that large still.
Yeah, I found it sat well with everything I played, which normally when somebody's in the showroom playing fingerstyle like that, I mean, I will generally say, maybe you should try a sinker top or a cedar top,
Or a smaller body.
Or the GC, even it out. nothing was lost when I was playing
Yeah.
it. It was just a fantastic experience.
Yeah,
So,
that's one of the things I like working with this, with the V-Class idea, is that even on a larger body, the type of low-end power I can get out of that, it doesn't become mushy or overly woofy or anything like that. It has this real clear, strong, almost like a, in my head I think of like a twin reverb or something that has a lot of headroom. You know, it doesn't kind of roll over when you hit those notes. It's got something for you.
it definitely seemed to me like one more tool in the quiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just, oh, that's a great guitar and it's great, and you put this V-Class in one more thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you play it and you're like, oh, I could see where I could use this on
Yeah.
these songs that I know, or this gigging situation.
Or, you know, one of the things that I've noticed players go through is like a stylistic change. You know, so as a player embarks on their journey, you kind of get into a couple of records and you're making those sort of sounds. That might be your repertoire, your style, your articulation. And then you catch, something else will catch your ear, and your style kind of morphs into whatever you're listening to then. So players will go through these different phases of life. On one hand, I want a great instrument that'll suit every player well, no matter what they get into. But along the way, you realize, okay, there are certain sounds that do a really good job offering something unique for that musician. You know, so if you're a fingerstyle player, that's why we start to categorize guitars like, okay, you look at that, like that 912 Builder's Edition that we're building, that's like the most perfect fingerstyle guitar because it has this incredibly linear balance, super articulate voice. Every single note you play is like pristine fidelity. And so when somebody like me who has no fingernails wants to play a fingerstyle guitar with the pads of my fingertips, that guitar is like, it's like effortless. You know, so if I was doing a lot of that kind of music, I could easily get into a guitar like that and use that as my primary guitar. Now maybe some time goes by and I'm now playing in, maybe I'm playing rhythm guitar in a country band. You know, that guitar sounds great. I can strum chords on it all day long. It amplifies really well. But what if we were playing in maybe a country or an old-timey band where we're all crowded around one microphone and I want something with a lot of power? A guitar like this or the Grand Pacific is going to be really well suited for that environment. So they kind of take on different usages based on what kinds of sounds a player wants to draw from the instrument.
That's well said. I tend to have a specific tailor model for each style when people are playing in the store. You know, just from that consulting standpoint, we're like, oh, what do you think? What do you think? And inevitably, I have to keep myself out of it because, like, I think.
They're all cool.
Yeah,
I like
people
them
are like,
all.
what's your favorite? I'm like, that's not even a fair question.
Totally. People will ask, like, oh, what's your favorite Taylor guitar? I go, oh gosh, it's like trying to choose one of my children. Like, I love them all. They're great. They're wonderful, and they're different. They have unique personalities. They have a unique, individualistic outlook on life. That's great. I think it's as it should be.
Yeah.